there's a continuation onto the Will and Jada Smith story. A couple weeks ago, Will Smith smacks Chris Rock at the Oscars. Yeah, well, apparently there's a video out there that surfaced of Jada filming Will Smith and asking private, I would say is private questions. I wouldn't go up to Ashley and ask, do you think that this person had a vital role in reviving our marriage? It's like, no.
Obviously not, because you're banging other dudes.
That is true in her case.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm not banging other dudes. Yay. Anyway, I wanted to show the video, but now I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to leave for a couple frames and I'll be back.
Hi.
All right.
You know Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just...
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start roll. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
Please watch us stare at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you tell?
What a fucking bitch.
Honestly, though.
Yay. I
Round of applause.
I know you can't see me and you can only see Austin, but he's the eye candy anyway.
Yeah, that's all you need to see here.
I'm the ear candy.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, now after seeing that video, because I know I asked this question right after the Oscars, so I'm going to ask the same question. What advice would you give to Will?
Leave. Run.
I knew you were going to fucking say that too.
Leave.
Because that's the same fucking
Run.
thing I would say.
Run.
Run.
Run as fast as you fucking can.
And I know you can outrun Jada. So.
I mean,
yeah.
just use what you did at the Oscars and then...
Yeah, and then walk away. Yeah.
Run away.
Domestic violence is okay if the person is emotionally abusing you, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No.
I'm kidding. Do not
No.
take that
Yeah,
advice at all.
That's bad advice. Don't do that.
All right.
But yeah, no. Run.
Run.
Pull Hussein Bolt and just take off out of
Hussein?
it. Hussein. I don't know.
It's Usain.
Usain?
Like Usain.
I don't give a fuck.
I mean, you're
He runs fast.
Also, you're loud. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm also like right by the mic.
Yeah,
Hi.
well, stop it.
Daddy.
Wow, you're piercing my eardrums. You're also piercing my asshole anyway.
But
Actually, you're not. You never will. So
watch me.
a bit of a sidetrack and then we'll come back. So Will Smith apparently is no longer able to take a seat at the Oscars for 10 years. Who the fuck cares who wants to sit at the Oscars anyway?
Honestly, yeah. Who gives a fuck?
The next question. Do you think that Jada is emotionally abusing Will?
Obviously. Yes.
All right. And then I'm going to pull something up to basically prove that Austin's obviously is correct.
Always.
He's always correct. So let me hit that. All right.
I'm never
So
right.
hopefully you're seeing the same article I am. Again, not a computer genius, so I can't tell you. But these are the common signs of emotional abuse and whether or not someone is emotionally abusing you. And I'm just going to go
all about that.
I'm just going to say a few of them. And I'm not going to read into it. So I'm just going to do the bold words. And you can read along with me unless you're Austin. Name calling and derogatory nicknames are commonly used by people who emotionally abuse people. Character assassination, which is basically a form of demeaning someone's character. Like, let's say they're seen as a good person. You try your best to make them look like a bad person in front of everyone else. Yelling. Patronizing, which is belittling, but to probably more of an extent than just belittle. Public embarrassment. Dismissiveness. Joking with quotation marks, meaning you're joking in order to, get to them. Insulting their appearance, belittling your accomplishments, putting down your interests, and pushing your buttons.
I just thought of something. I think I'm emotionally abusing myself.
Okay, and here's the other thing. If like you've yelled at your spouse, that doesn't mean you're an emotional abuser. It's more so if you employ like all of these are signs that will tell you that it's possible that the person is emotionally abusing you. But yelling, like if you yelled once at your partner, it doesn't make you an emotional abuser. It's like,
I mean,
it's got to be chronic.
I feel like that's just kind of a normal.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have your fights.
Yeah.
And
I would say don't ever get to the yelling part.
well,
because-
yeah. I mean, try the best to solve it.
But
best.
I push my wife's buttons all the time. That's not
I mean,
necessarily.
I push everyone's buttons
Yeah.
because I like to. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But that just makes me a dick. So
All right. So continuing on, making threats, monitoring your whereabouts. That's a big one. That's a big sign that someone is abusing you. Is they're monitoring your whereabouts and they're not allowing you to hang out with friends. They're not allowing you to hang out with family. Controlling, yeah, which is right here. Controlling your access to finances as well, which is pretty fucking bad.
one.
Yeah. So out of all of these, I know that Jada is using quite a few of them.
If not all.
If not all. So let's run through the list. Is Jada name calling and using derogatory nicknames? Yes, because she said that she's dealing with foolishness.
Oh no.
Character assassination. Yes, she is using.
Dolls!
Yeah, I would say so. Yelling. No, she is not yelling.
No, she's not yelling, but I mean,
She is patronizing, though.
You gotta know that it's not. You're only seeing the films. You're not seeing what's
True.
going on behind the closed
Yes,
doors.
she started the film right after yelling at him. So patronizing, she definitely fucking did that.
What is that word? Like 4?
Yeah, public embarrassment, she just did that in the video.
Yeah.
Pick fights, share secrets, and make fun of your shortcomings in public. That is literally what she just fucking did in the video. Dismissiveness, meaning that, wait,
No, she did that.
yeah,
She dismissed. Yeah, I don't even know how to use that in a sentence.
been dismissiveness. It's dismissive. I don't know.
Dismissive. Yeah,
Um,
I think that would be a words hard English. Okay.
I don't think she did this one.
Joking?
I don't think she did that one.
No, she's not funny
She didn't
enough to joke
insult.
around.
Yeah, I know. Insulting an appearance. No, I didn't see that. Belittling accomplishments. She didn't directly do that, but she did belittle. Nice. She was pushing buttons, and she was getting pretty close. And if he wasn't being filmed, woo! She wasn't making threats. I don't know if she's doing any of these because this
Yeah.
would be behind the scenes.
But we can probably. It's
We-
probably safe to assume she's doing
Yeah.
a few of those at least.
So just-
maybe not all.
Looking
But-
at this list and watching the video,
So-
I can assure you that she's emotionally abusing Will, and whether or not there's any kind of like reciprocal, like is he reciprocating any of that? I don't know, because sometimes in a relationship that can happen. Although with emotional abuse, actually, now that I'm done with here, I'm gonna show my face.
Do we want to bring it back to everything? All right. You can do it. Don't trip and fall, knock over, anything.
Fat bitch. Okay.
Uh,
I'm back.
sad days.
I know.
Mm,
I didn't even want to be here today.
I don't want to be here any day.
That mic was a lot louder than this one that I noticed. Nice.
Is it?
It feels louder. Yeah.
Is it on the right side too?
Yeah, it's on the right side. The diaphragm's right there. But it's a little quieter, which is fine, I guess. Anyway, the main point I wanted to do is to extrapolate on this story to basically teach you what you should look for, and that you don't let yourself be Will. And Will, don't let yourself be Will. So, to anyone out there suffering from this abuse, you're not alone. He's here. He does it every day to himself. He's had it happen to him multiple times, at least once that I know of. And then I emotionally abuse him, and then I sexually abuse him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only way to get through to him. His butthole doesn't open unless I, belittle him a little bit, He's into that kinky shit. Foot porn. Anyway, on a more serious note, if any of these things that we've listed off in the emotional abuse list, don't be afraid to get help. I want to say that in most cases, I think most psychologists will also say this, that there is a relationship subconsciously between you and your abuser. Your abuser, either subconsciously or consciously, is using all of these tricks and tips.
What's it called when someone does do those things, but then after you break up, but you're basically still crazy for them? It's like but you know it's Stockholm syndrome.
I think that's what it's called.
It's like if you're in an abusive relationship,
same thing happens with rape victims commonly,
or even like captive victims too.
Yeah,
Captive.
Yep, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
So don't fall to that. But what I was getting at is that with any kind of abuse victims, typically emotional abuse, there's a subconscious role that is playing a part between the two. Again, it could be conscious from the abuser, but most of the time it's subconscious in what they're doing, because they're trying to test their partner to see if whether or not their partner is strong. And if you and I'm not blaming any victim, but if you give these subconscious messages to the abuser that basically states, no, I'm not strong enough to stand up for myself, then they will continue that behavior until eventually it either gets physical or you separate, because you're just not really, I wouldn't say that you're necessarily not good for each other, although I think anyone could argue the second it starts to get there, you probably shouldn't be together anymore. But
either that or you really need to go to couples counseling.
I would say go to counseling, especially if when I read this list you heard several that you use on your partner unknowingly, then you probably need to seek counseling, because there's something under all of the, I guess, under the veil of what you know as your consciousness that is driving you to do something that you don't actually want to do. And until you seek a counselor and understand where that's coming from, you will get worse. And that's another thing I want to point out is, if this is happening to you, it is only going to happen more frequently and at a higher intensity as the relationship continues without being fixed. So like in Will and Jada's instance, this didn't start with her doing this. It started probably with just a couple joking about his manliness, and he didn't back up. And then it progressed into something a little bit more severe, and he still didn't really push back at all. And I think the major point that I think started this downward spiral is whenever she came out with the video of her acknowledging that she slept with someone else in front of a camera with him there publicly. It's like that. I think that's the start of the turn, because he didn't fight back, and she wanted him to fight back subconsciously.
See, I kind of understand where, like, Smith, like, Will is at.
Well, because he loves her.
Well, yeah, but also it's like some things, like, if you do get angry about, you're gonna lose yourself in it. So it's best to just not get angry. Like, you'll be angry, but to not let it control you in that moment.
You still have to be assertive.
Well, yeah, but sometimes, like, back when I had, younger, like, everything, like, if I didn't know how to go with things about, like, as an adult more,
Should I let him touch my anus?
No, not that. Just more of, like, I just jumped straight to anger, and then it became super outblown, like,
Yeah.
Like,
but you can't do the opposite where you just repress all of it. That's why I said you have to be assertive. There's a difference between assertiveness and anger. In that situation, let's say she came out and said she had an entanglement with...
But, like, sometimes you just can't control yourself.
True, but...
Like, some people have a really hard time doing that.
Well, and that's why you should reflect a little bit more, because if you can't control yourself, there's something underlying that you need to address. Because you can ultimately control yourself even if you have a predisposition to become very, very angry very, very quickly. You can still control yourself. As long as you use the tips and tricks. But what he should have done in that situation is been assertive, like, hey, don't bring this up. Don't bring this up. If you want to have this conversation, we can have it later. And she keeps bringing it up, walk off the podcast.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. It's not being angry. It's being assertive, like, don't bring that up. That's private. And we can talk about this later. And if she wants to keep pressing, then leave. Because that'll show her as an abuser that she can't get away with that shit. And it will discontinue as that assertiveness
or just leave her
continues.
ass.
And yeah, I think that should really happen. And I think Will Smith is stuck in this position where he doesn't feel like he can be assertive because he's in this case. I think he's lost a lot
I feel
of
like
his
he's dug himself
manliness.
quite a bit of like big
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah, and he can't get out of it
Yeah.
because the second he tries to climb out of it, it's like now he has everyone against him. So
Yeah.
it's like, so.
Yep.
Anyway, if you are being emotionally abused, try to find some help. And if you are like unconsciously, you see that you use some of the tactics, try to find a counselor, likely a counselor that will address both of you, so that you can work it out before it becomes something very serious. Now, if you're using these tactics knowingly, I have a couple suggestions for you. Where is it on this list? I hope that you will come to know that your actions will have consequences either in this life or the life to come. You're not going to escape shit. You're not going to get away with it. Stop. Because there will come a time where, and I hope that it's a time before you die, because, God's judgment, I think, will be by far harsher than any human judgment. I can't remember how the verse goes. It's, fear not the one who can destroy your body, but cannot touch your soul, but fear the one who can destroy your soul. And that's God. It's like, you better get things right before you die, motherfucker. Anyway, if you're emotionally abusing someone knowingly, fuck you. No one likes you. Reevaluate yourself.
What if I emotionally abuse myself?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Glad
I wouldn't
we're clear
advise
on
it, but yeah. Self-hurt's fine. It's not nearly as bad as, hurting others. Yeah.
that. Got a point.
Yeah. All right. Knowing what you know, what would you say is the best way to avoid emotional abuse?
Like
Kill yourself.
No. Once you see the signs, speak up. Don't I guess coward down from speaking and saying your mind, because shit's not gonna get done.
Oh, and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
Yeah,
tough at
it's
first, but you gotta
never an easy thing.
you gotta save yourself.
Yeah, but life isn't easy, so you gotta do what's good for you, no matter how awkward or how hard it will be.
Don't lay a finger on my butterfinger. So I can't make it be like too sad in the show. That's what I'm trying to, insert some comedy. But I would take the advice seriously, but
But honestly, like, and if you see the signs are too scared to do, like, I know sometimes it can be overwhelming, and you love the person, and that will take control, and you just gotta really set like a limit to yourself. I can't, like, how do I explain this? It's a very complicated
I'd say
way.
the best way
It's just upfront right then and there.
is if you love them
Yeah.
and you want to help them, you're gonna have to stand up to them.
Yeah.
It may not seem like love at first, and they may say that they don't feel love from you anymore. But if you truly love them, you have to go through that stage, because if you don't, both of you are gonna suffer.
But just get it over with. Don't let it drag on with time or anything. It's just gonna get worse.
Unless you're into S&M. S-S-S-M. Yeah. Sexual sadism?
Oh, it's always a good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Slap my balls, daddy.